familiar. So when did you graduate high school?
I graduated from Plymouth.
Oh, Plymouth High School.
It starts polite and then turns into pure horror. We have chilling new video and a double murder case. A son accused of killing his mom and dad, stabbing them several times inside their New England home.
So when you said that you defended yourself and you took his life, how did you do that? What did you?
I stabbed him as many times as I could.
Okay.
And I tried to make it as fast as possible.
The story that investigators heard from the son about why he claimed that the carnage that happened inside the house was not his fault. We're on the case presented by Law & Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. All right, hey guys, real quick. It is that time of year again. It is tax time. It can be very stressful. Maybe you owe back taxes or you have unfiled returns. Maybe you pulled money from your 401k and you got hit with an unexpected bill. No matter the reason, the outcome is the same. Penalties grow, interest compounds, and you could owe again with no plan in place. The IRS is not waiting. They can enforce collections through wage garnishments or property seizures and file without your consent. But with over 15 years in business, Tax Network USA has seen it all and resolved more than $1 billion in debt. No matter the amount, they help taxpayers get back on track, and they can do the same for you, but you have to call now. They're offering a free investigation call with the IRS, after which they'll put a clear plan in place for you. Don't wait for another IRS letter. Call 866-981-4548 or visit tnusa.com/LC, or you can click the link below. The story we're talking about today happened inside a home down a quiet New England street. The suspect told police that he did what he had to do in the name of self-defense, killing his parents. Here are the two victims in this story, David and Renee True. They lived in Middleborough, Massachusetts. It's about 45 minutes outside Boston. The Trues were hardworking people. There's no doubt about that. This was a couple that loved each other and they loved life. They loved hosting great cookouts, playing games, and they also loved going to the casino. This is according to their obituary. David, he worked for a paving company, and Renee was a beloved bus driver for the local schools. They were parents and grandparents, and they had two sons. One of them was named Ryan, and his name is listed in their obituary. On December 11th, 2020, police in Middleborough received a call from David's work because he didn't show up.
Middleborough Police Recorded Line, Officer Manson speaking.
Hi, good morning. I'm calling. One of our employees is a Middleborough resident who hasn't come in, hasn't answered phones, and it's literally like the most responsible person we've ever met in our life. His wife's not answering phones. We're concerned that there's a real problem. And we don't know if it's possible to have like a wellness check or something on the house.
What's their name?
David True. 3 Highland Street.
T-R-U-E?
T-R-U-E, correct. His wife is Renee.
Now, it didn't make sense for David not to show up for work and for his wife to also be MIA. And you can just hear the concern from David's coworker. But the truth is sometimes people don't show up for work. Maybe they oversleep, maybe they get sick and forgot to make the phone call. Police said that they would send an officer over to the house, but before they did that, they called the True's numbers to see if they could get in touch.
Hi, Dave. This is Officer Manson with the Middleborough Police Department. I just received a call from your boss, Don, who stated he was concerned because you hadn't shown up for work. He wanted to see if everything was all right. If you could, please give me a call back.
Then a call comes in from the older son of the Trues.
Hey, sir. My name is Doug Hughes. You have an officer right now at my parents' house at 3 Highland Street. It's hard there, and you guys are going to need to break down the door. I don't know what's going on there, but it is not like them to not be up at this time.
The son then gives details on the family dynamics potentially at play.
The only thing that I can think, honestly, sir, is they're not alive. That's the only thing that I can think. You need to bust down the door. My brother is autistic. He has issues. I don't know if he went off to there.
So would he be there too?
He is there. He's in the first floor, straight through that side door to the left. Bedroom on the left, that's where he would be. They're going to be upstairs.
I got to go to Boston today.
And I know that they've had issues with their next door neighbor as well.
Right. We were looking into that as well. Okay, let me talk to my officers that are on scene. What's your phone number, sir?
Eventually, police make their way into the house and they find the bodies of David and Renee.
Yeah, we're going in right now. Thank you. I need detectives here. Get GPI. Get me through stuff.
Police then put out a call looking for where the True's son, Ryan, could be. Eventually, Ryan returned home and he was put under arrest.
Are you seeking psychiatric care? It's just a question I have to ask. It's not, you can answer it any way you like, really.
I'm fine.
This is video that we have of when he was first put in custody. Ryan was 21 years old at the time of these murders. Once in the interrogation room, officers read Ryan his rights and he agrees to speak with detectives without a lawyer present. Officers then ask him what happened.
Did anything happen between you and your parents last night or this morning or anything like that?
Yes, I was physically harmed.
Okay.
There was a physical attempt to harm me.
Okay. And what was that? Can you describe that or what happened?
Pure anger, and I was being grabbed, just pushed around, being thrown around the room.
Okay. And who was that by?
My father.
Your father?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your father's name?
His name is David.
David? Okay. What time did this happen?
Somewhere after 5.
This morning or last night?
p.m.
PM? Okay. So 5 p.m., you and your father get in a physical altercation. Okay. Can you describe, besides, like, what was the altercation between you two?
Verbal and physical.
Verbal and physical? What prompted this?
It's this quarantine. They weren't handling it well. It was driving them crazy. They weren't in their right minds. And they've been making up problems that didn't exist, and whatever stress, problems, you name it, anything that wasn't going right in their life, they would come to me and take it out on me.
Okay. So what were those stress problems with in regards to the pandemic and stuff? If you can describe them, if you know what those are.
Could you say that again?
I'm just trying to, so when you said that your parents were taking out problems and stuff, what were those problems that your parents were having in regards to?
They weren't happy with being stuck at home.
Okay.
They wanted to work, and even though one of them wasn't even working, they would take up work issues. They didn't have that on me.
Okay. And you said that roughly happened around 5 o'clock last night? Okay.
In the past, they've both attacked me physically.
They both attacked you physically? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any injuries or anything from that?
No.
Okay. Last night, when everything transpired, when you had that altercation with your father, did you receive any injuries from that?
Yes.
Okay. That's your injury to your hand?
This is the closest thing.
Okay. How did that happen?
So, defended myself. It was self-defense against both of them, out of fear that, and worry that they would try to harm me. I harmed them back in self-defense to protect myself.
Okay. When you say it was in self-defense and they were harming you, what exactly?
I didn't want it to come to that point. I wanted to walk away.
Okay. So walk us through what happened.
He was drunk. Even when they're not drunk, they can't stand me.
Okay.
So while he was drunk, he lost control of his actions and started to attack me.
How do you do that?
Grabbed me, just screaming and yelling at me.
Okay.
And then I defended myself.
How did you, so the injury, and I just want to make sure, so the injury to your hand is from your father, okay, of what you told us. How did you get that injury? Like, what caused that injury?
I had a pocket knife on me, and I wasn't willing to take being harmed anymore.
Officers then ask him what happened. Ryan is firm about his version of events. He insists what he did was self-defense. But detectives press him for specifics. Small gaps in the story begin to surface.
Okay. And what was he physically doing to you that then you wanted to defend yourself?
I didn't know if he was going to try and choke me by the throat, push me and throw me against the wall.
Okay. Have things like that happened before?
Close to it.
Okay. When you say close to it, though, like they've been to that point, but has he ever physically hurt you before?
No.
Okay. So there's never been a physical, it's just
a lot of threats, harassment.
Okay.
Almost every form of harassment they've both committed against me.
What would the different forms be?
Bullying. They've tried to invade my personal privacy.
How would they do that?
My phones, my games.
You mean they were just like looking on them?
Just sneaky, like there was no reason for it. I wasn't doing anything.
Ryan offers up what he calls proof, but the more he lays out, the more questions seem to linger.
And immediately after I yelled, that's when he immediately got up in my face and began to physically harm me.
Okay. When you got in your face and you say he was physically harming you, what was he doing to physically harm you?
Grab.
Okay.
By the arms?
By the arms, and then I couldn't tell if he was going to try to grab me by the throat.
Okay. So is he restraining you? Is it a restraining?
Like
or
an
is
attempt to push me against the wall.
Okay. And who does that? Just so that we're clear.
It was my father who tried to push me and grab me.
Good.
Okay. And we're sorry for making you relive this stuff, but we need to get the details of what happened because we weren't there. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why we're just going over things a few times and just clarifying. Okay. So at that point, you know, like you said, you didn't know what your father was going to do next. What do you do in that? What's next?
Once he grabbed me, I defended myself and did bodily harm back.
Okay. When you say you defended yourself, okay, how did you defend yourself?
I didn't know what to expect. I couldn't tell what was going to happen, so to protect my life, I took his.
How'd you do that?
With the switchblade.
Where was that?
In the bedroom.
Where do you keep that in the bedroom?
On a table stand next to the bed.
No, bedstand, yeah. And that's where it was yesterday? That's where you grabbed it from? Okay.
And you said it was on the TV stand?
Bedstand.
The bed stand? Okay. And when you say the switchblade, is that the one that you previously described, or is it a different one?
It's the same.
Okay. And that's the one that has the orange skull on it that you described? Okay. So you reached for that, if I'm understanding this correctly, and if I'm not...
I had it in my pocket and I took it out.
Okay. Do you usually keep it, or you left it on the nightstand after everything happened?
I try not to keep it on me.
Okay.
I don't like having to resort to violence.
Okay. So when you said that you defended yourself and you took his life, how did you do that? What did you...
I stabbed him as many times as I could.
Okay.
And I tried to make it as fast as possible.
Okay. When you stabbed David, that's who we're talking about, correct? Where did you stab him?
In the neck, the head, the chest.
It's a chilling admission from Ryan. Here's what he says happened to his mom.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, while this is happening with David, with your father, where's your mom at this point?
About an hour later, she walked in, and after I had took his life, I panicked. I didn't know what she was going to do, and out of fear and worry that she was going to do something too, because that's happened, they've both come at me and attacked me. With the intent to defend myself and just in case something... I didn't know if they were going to if she was going to try to hurt me either at that point. And when she walked in, I...
Walked into where? The room where you and your dad were?
She walked in from the outside to the inside of the house.
Okay.
An hour later, after I took his life.
Okay.
And when she walked in, I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I thought she was going to have a similar reaction he did. And out of worry and fear for my life, I didn't want any harm to come my way. I don't want any harm to come my way. I took her life too.
He claims he had no choice but to kill his mom. But Ryan also admits there was no fight, no heated exchange.
Where were you when she walked in the house?
In the living room.
Okay.
I was in the chair, just sitting there panicking, not sure what to do, what to think at that point.
And David, your dad, was in your bedroom? Okay. And what was said, what was said when your mom came in the house?
there was no verbal arguments or anything. It was quick escalation, because what worried me and had me panicked at that point is what could have happened if she saw his body.
Okay.
And what had me more worried is she ran to the second floor and was running for a gun in the closet. I think there's guns in that closet.
When you say that closet, which closet?
The bedroom.
So your parents' bedroom was on the second floor?
Yeah.
Okay. What made her run up the stairs towards her bedroom?
When she walked through the door, I was afraid what could have happened if she found the body, so I attacked her to defend myself.
How did you attack her? It's just like when she walked through the door, you just...
I did bodily harm to her the same way I did to him.
Okay. On the first floor?
And it lasted from the first floor to the second floor.
When you say you did bodily harm, the same way you did to your David, with the same knife?
So,
I took both of their lives to defend myself, to protect myself.
okay. When, and I just want to make sure I'm following this right, okay? So your mom came in. You guys didn't have any verbal argument, nothing, right?
No.
Okay. You then you're panicking prior to what transpired between you and your father. And then you, in your words, you defended yourself, and then you did the same to your mother as you did to David.
Yes.
Okay. And then your mom then was fleeing, and you followed her to the second floor?
Yes.
Okay.
If I could have, I would have stayed in my room, not left it, avoided them, and if they didn't scream and yell and attack me, they might still be here today, and none of this would have happened if they didn't target me.
Detectives then ask after the murders of his parents, what did Ryan do? Where did he go?
What do you do throughout the night? Do you stay home? Do you leave?
When I was defending myself, my glasses broke. I spent 3 hours or more looking for one of the lens.
On these ones here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
that your glasses broke during the altercation with your dad?
with both of them.
Okay.
Do these usually have arms on them, and you just kind of rig this up?
The arms on the side were ready to fall off.
Okay. So you hooked up that elastic right there?
Yeah, I tried to get creative.
So you spent about 3 hours looking for the lens?
Yep.
Okay. What did you do after you found the lens?
I was going to flee, and I did. I wasn't sure what to do.
Okay.
had gathered food, water, some bed sheets, and I was gonna go try to hide somewhere, and then I decided not to.
Okay. And that was all last night? That was going through your head? Okay. Did you go to sleep at all last night?
No.
Okay. So you're
I'm running on 0 hours of sleep.
okay. And then what prompted you to leave this morning? And what time did you leave this morning, roughly?
I left the house at around 6 or 7 in the morning.
This morning? Okay.
Okay. And then you said prior that you gathered like food, water, bed sheets, and all that stuff. What did you do with those items?
I left them in the car.
Okay.
I gathered them, I prepared them, and took off with them in the vehicle.
Okay. Did you put them in the car last night or this morning?
This morning.
This morning? Okay. And then where the knife that we've talked about a couple of times with the orange blade, with the orange skull on it and stuff, where is that knife located?
I carried it on me. And not to do harm, I had it on me. I wasn't going to do anything with it. That was up until I had met up and with the people that had led me to here.
Okay. So the knife that you used was on your person?
It was on me, and it was...
Was it on you when you got in the car to leave this morning?
Yeah.
Okay. It was in
It was in my pocket.
your pocket. Was it in your pocket when they brought you in here?
When I had arrived to get in the police car,
Yep.
they took it off me right there.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you took off in the car, did you go anywhere?
Took a few turns and stopped somewhere and tried to sleep.
At the time, maybe Ryan thought that he was telling a story that made a compelling case for self-defense, but the detectives, they didn't see it that way. Ryan True was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. This is Ryan True when he appeared in court per WCVB-TV in Boston. Ryan was sent to a state hospital for a mental health evaluation in 2020, and you heard on the day that the True's bodies were found, Ryan's older brother told authorities that he had autism. True pleaded not guilty to the charges. In May 2025, Ryan True was found guilty on both counts of first-degree murder. He has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify, and we're also now streaming on Peacock. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.